Alright guys, just a couple things real quick here. Gonna let people get in here. And actually, I want trance, but I don't want this trance. I want a different trance. Why am I getting echo? That's not cool. That's totally not cool. Why did I hear myself? That's just wrong. Maybe I have TSTV up on the other box, which I can't look at now because one of my monitors blew. I have another like 17-inch monitor like being used now, but it's not quite ideal. Oh, so mad about that. All right, guys, welcome to Tasty Spleen TV. And yeah, we do have a bit of a shift in the events tonight. We're going to be having some IDL Doom Capture the Flag later at about midnight Eastern time. But right now, it's going to be a Quake 3 map review. Why? No Koth? Why is so many people mad? I'm sorry. I really am sorry. But I had a new graphics card coming, and it hadn't come by the time King of the Hill was supposed to start. And I didn't want to be like doing King of the Hill, and then the graphics card comes, and I just have it like sitting there looking at me with like those Geico dollar eyes, and I can't do anything about it because I'm broadcasting. So I wanted to do a map review. That way I could, kind of interrupt if need be. It has arrived. It is installed now. So crisis averted. So everything's happy, except maybe people who wanted to play Quake 2 tonight. But I'm going to be playing Quake 2 tonight because I got a new graphics card. I had a little shitty one that I bought that had S-Video out. Now that I have an HD capture card, I bought one without S-Video, and so I can bump things up quite a bit now. Thing is, I'm still getting some black bars across my screen with the HDMI capture. That might be the cable, since it's a completely different card. It might be something else. I'm probably going to have to test out a few things tonight. But here we are tonight, guys, with a Quake 3 map review. And that's enough buffer time, enough filler for me to be happy enough that everybody's watching and not missing a thing. All right, guys. No, guys, this is not Blood Run. It might look like Blood Run, but it is not. This isn't even ZTN. However, what you see before you was brushed up by a name that should be familiar to all of us spleeners of the tasty variety. This map comes from none other than Jester, the author of so many gorgeous Quake 2 FFA maps that we play on DM, Rails, Mutants, all over the place on tastyspleen.net. Such an incredible guy, such an incredible mapper. I saw this get uploaded to levelworld.com, which is awesome, by the way, lvlworld.com, best place for Quake 3 mapping. And I saw it on there, and I immediately downloaded it to see what he had in store for the Quake 3 engine. Because, the transition from one game to another, sometimes it's really bloody obvious that you're used to mapping for another game. But we've got some real good surprises in store for you for this map. Actually, Dance Macabre is the name of it. I was almost not even going to mention that because, it's right up on your screen. Anyways, I do want to forewarn everybody by saying that there are no parts of Blood Run in this whatsoever. A lot of the reviewers and a lot of the commenters on Level World were kind of like, oh, so you just cut apart Blood Run and put it back together as a new map. No, he made it very clear that all of the geometry, all of the brushwork is original. But, he saw a theme, he liked the theme, and he stuck with it. And I really can't blame him for that. It's no bad thing at all. But I mentioned that Jester's Quake 2 maps are generally more suited for FFA just because a lot of them tend to be really big, really open. But here, the focus is unapologetically on 1v1 play. Simply put, this is a 3-tier duel map with some interesting implications in the teleporter department. Usually when I see maps structured like this, I look for methods to go instantly from the bottom to the top of the map. Starting with the Mega Room, you can see that it has 3 entrances from the bottom and 2 from the top, one of them being up here. This is going to be a really, really important room just because it has the yellow armor up top here as well as the only rocket launcher in the map. So spawning down here, and I love CPMA for showing me spawns, the player will have an immediate decision to make between, rushing Mega right off the bat and heading through teleport or something else, or going top map for weapons and yellow armor. Of course, he could probably drop down, but by this time, if anybody spawns back over here in the second room or down below, if they hear that jump pad, they can maybe, go in for a rush. The only thing is that this room doesn't have a lot of weapons at the bottom of the map other than the railgun. So somebody spawning here is more likely going to want to grab and go back over to the other end of the map. Are people having stream problems? This is going to be all recorded, but let me make sure that everybody's happy. No, I'm not having any stream problems. What is Sanctified talking about? Hold on. Okay. I hate pausing things, but I hate technical problems even more. I hate them with a passion. I hate them like Pauly Shore hates jeans. All right, but back to what I was saying. I'm always looking for ways to go from the bottom of the map to the top of the map, and we'll get back to the teleporters in just a moment, but somebody spawning in the middle room, which has railgun down below, plasma gun in the middle, and rocket... Yeah, I failed, because I'm playing this in a tiny little window right now to get it over on the screen, with red armor up top. A lot of interesting choices here, and this brings me to one of my favorite things about the map. You're going to be seeing a lot of ambushes. The way the map is spread out, it's actually fairly large, but also fairly complex. So you have a lot of hallways connecting areas. And, oh, by the way, with all the shards and all the health pickups in the hallways, you can see Jester's Quake 2 sentimentality kind of showing through a little bit to where the point to where those sound cues are going to be really, really important. But, oh, come on. You totally saw that rocket jump. Okay. Hey, that's convenient. All right, and yes, there is a spawn right at red armor, so somebody can potentially get that rush right away, creating some potentially really interesting starting moments. But the two ways to attack red armor are from up above, which will be pretty much a flatland flight, you know, plasma, LG, rockets, what have you. But there's also a fairly safe way to rail from down below. There's not a lot of, you know, cross traffic with that, but you are going to be able to take a quick pot shot and get back to the middle of the map. There are going to be a lot of rocket jumps, you know, for people who know how to do them right, up to red armor, which will create for a lot of ambushes again. But also, this is where the teleporters come in. The one down here by LG, by the way, this room is going to be fairly useful for recovering to, as it has 50 health, a bit of ammo up top, the lightning gun, and a teleporter right back over to red armor. So there's a really quick ambush opportunity right there. It's always what I look for, is those ways to really get back into the action from being relatively down on health. And likewise with the teleporter from mega health, it actually puts you mid-map where you can actually look back down on the mega health room or go directly through the hallway, which you will note has no shards or health pickup, so you can actually sneak through there a little bit to try to get back over to the teleporter, or if that's cut off from you, jump pad. But you can see where the teleporters don't immediately give you the items. There are still a lot of opportunities for waiting outside the teleporters from several angles and making that attack happen. And that'll make for a lot of really interesting tactical choices. Overall, the pathing, again, really implies a lot of ambushing. Jester seems to want to see as many aha moments as possible here. It's especially evident, again, with the number of shards and health pickups. But I believe that play on this map will make for some really, really interesting matches. It's large enough and complex enough to where players can kind of hide from each other for a while. There's enough, you know, discounting the teleporters themselves, there's enough little, you know, hatchback stairways and enough little angled hallways to kind of make things hideable for a while. But again, teleporters and the rocket jumps and just kind of the entrances into these rooms will make for a lot of ambushes. So sound cues will be important. Knowing where your opponent is going to be important. And changing up your route. I mean, in ZTN, a major game changer is always when, you know, somebody rocket jumps to kind of change where they are. And you're going to be seeing a lot of that here. Aesthetically, I mean, we've seen all these textures before in Blood Run, obviously. But it really isn't bad because it's a really effective style. It works well. People enjoy it. There's no real complaints there. Jester's comfortable with the elements here, and everything clicks together really, really nicely. Some commenters on Level World said that it's a bit dark in some of the areas, and while it's something I like in and of itself, you know, it kind of underlines in kind of a metaphorical way, kind of the chiaroscuro of the map, kind of the Heidi and aha moments. Yeah, really highbrow talk there. I do like that in and of itself. What I don't like is that it kind of points out and gives a big red finger to how many torches there are in the game, because he's using a lot of point lighting to kind of light up the map, and you have to use some sort of model to kind of justify having that light there. So there's a lot of torches. And that always kind of seems to be a crutch to me. I know a lot of us do it. I do it, but it's something that doesn't really need to always happen. It's always a bit of a groaner whenever I see that happen, pretty much. This is a good example of where, open ceilings and more skylighting could have really cut down on the number of models that you had, and really would have cut down on the number of heart attacks that insurance inspectors would have had when they see all the freaking fire all over the place. But overall, this map is a definite winner in my book. I would love to see it played in duel or maybe even 2v2 in some of the more forward-thinking Quake 3 servers. A lot of Quake 3 servers kind of have their set map lists. Not a lot of new content is played, but I would totally +1 seeing this on a server, or maybe even in a Anima Gaming tournament at some point. That's something I gotta contact Wally about. Is like, okay, let's do another tournament, but let's get some new maps in there. There's a lot of really great content, and we can totally, do the wizard with all this. A new game? No. Really great map. I love seeing Jester's work. He does have another Quake 3 map that was made for a GeoComp, and you can go check that out as well on levelworld.com, lvlworld.com. But this is a really great showing. No real complaints other than, torches everywhere. Really, I mean, that's the only complaint I can think of. Without seeing it in a lot of 1v1 play, and, bots wouldn't really illustrate that many things, it's hard to say just how well used a lot of the elements would be, but Jester definitely shows that he's not a one-trick pony. He knows how to up some of the subtleties of Quake 3 gameplay, and even if that means he doesn't want to use any ambient sounds in the map, it's all in the name of the game. All right, guys, this has been your friendly neighborhood Jahar with a Quake 3 map review. Stay tuned, because later tonight we're going to be seeing some Doom Capture the Flag. Same place in just about, 2 hours or so. So be here. I'll be here. We'll all have a good time. And again, it's all for Quake. It's all for Doom, because just like Zypher said, Quake is boss mode. See you guys in a bit.